It's a lot of stuff to go on a street, Bob. But in this episode, I'm going to show you how I put every bit of this on that motorcycle for my camping adventures.
Let's do it.
This is going to be the bare minimum. This is a non-glamorous camping setup, but I tell you what, it's every single thing I'm going to need for a week in Sturgis at the campground. Keep in mind, when you're camping in Sturgis at a campground that's dedicated to motorcycle camping for the rally, you don't really have to take food, drink, any of that stuff. You don't have to take that. You're going to be able to get everything you need, all of that right at the campground. You don't really need to haul any of that with you. And I really probably don't even need to haul my camping coffee cook pot setup, but I'm going to take it anyway. So this is the stuff I'm taking to Sturgis, South Dakota for the 82nd annual Black Hills Motorcycle Rally. Let's get started. When I go camping, what I like to do is I take this Bass Pro waterproof boat bag and I put every single thing for my tent camping site to put up camp that I need in this one bag. So when I get off the motorcycle, I can grab one bag, throw it on the ground, unzip it, pull every single thing I need to throw up my tent, throw my mat into the tent, my sleeping blanket, the little hammer I use for the stakes, all of that stuff that I need to immediately put up camp quickly goes into this bag. I'm going to show you what all that is. So the first thing is the tent. Best Sport 3-person tent. Now every single thing for the tent is in this bag currently. If you do a comparison, you can probably see that this bag right here in this current configuration doesn't really fit in this bag. So what I have to do is I have to actually pack this bag by taking everything out of this bag. So what I normally do is I unzip this bad boy. No magic tricks, completely empty. I got too much crap on my table here, so it's going to make it a little more difficult for me. But that's okay, I'll work through it. It's a lot of crap to be taken with you on a soft tail motorcycle. Alright, so I take all the components out piece by piece. There's the footprint. There's the poles, stakes. Alright, so here's the tent. Just the tent by itself. I put that in there and I smash it to the side a little bit. And I take the rain fly, which is just as big as the tent for some reason. I guess you get a lot of coverage on that bad boy. But there you go. The tent and the rain fly are in there. That's the first two things I put in there because they're the biggest. And I completely fill the bottom. I smash it all together. I take my tent poles and I lay them in there. I push them all the way back to one end so that I leave a little opening up here at the top. And in that opening, I can fit the footprint long ways like that. And then I can also put the stakes right on top of that also. So now there you go. That big old tent is in this bag. And that takes up obviously 2/3 of the bag. Next, what I like to put in there is my mat. So there you go. Now that's in there. Now the next thing I have to put in there is my blanket. Again, I try to put my entire sleeping system into this one bag. That way it's all in there, it's all waterproof, it's all together. When I get to the campsite, I just pull it out, throw it in there, I'm good to go. My little mini hammer that I use for pounding my stakes in if I have to, that also goes in there. My inflatable pillow, that goes in there. And then my 1.3 gallon potable water bag goes in there. That's in there, okay? But there's more. I have more room in this bag if I really want to smash something else in there. Oh, and I can smash more in there. Take an extra canister of gas, put that in there. Then I also take my thermal cell. I can stuff that in the end too. Thermal cells in there. Something else I like to do as soon as I get to the campground is immediately kick off my shoes and get into these flip-flops. It's just so much cooler. I'll throw shorts on sometimes too. These could easily go in there, but I'm not going to stuff those in there. So there you go. After packing this bag, look, I don't even have to struggle to zip it up. All of that sleeping system, my mat, my pillow, my tent, everything goes with the tent. It's all in there. One waterproof bag. When I get to the campsite, boom, I just drop it down, open it up. Before I even have to touch anything else on the motorcycle, I can get my camp basically completely set up. Next, I'm gonna fill my Dagger Bag from Viking Bags. As you can see, this bag is pretty thick. It's like a big old motorcycle suitcase. Got two huge pockets on the outside. Now you can see in here, it has a zippered mesh pocket right there, and then it has a pocket that you can slip stuff behind that also, and then it's just one huge suitcase compartment. And these side pockets, I like to put a lot of the camping accessory stuff that I need to get to quickly, again after I get to the campsite. And for me, quickly, cigars have to come quickly. This is an extra humidor that I'll be taking full of a few more of my favorite cigars. But the one I generally take with me for an overnight camping trip is this one. I'll be taking both of these this time, because obviously I'm going to need more than 3 cigars while I'm gone. I can actually put that huge humidor in there. We still put this humidor in there. I can put this flask in there. I put my lighter in there. There's still more room in that pocket. But that's what I call my essentials. I got my whiskey and my cigars right there at the ready. I know that might not be that important to some people. Trust me, it's important to me. Also, when I'm traveling, it's right there in that pocket. If I want to stop and have a smoke, I can get to this pocket easily. I don't have to unpack anything. Just zip it open and there we go. So, some more essentials. These might be actually essentials. I did forget to unpack one thing out of here. Got a couple of trash bags that obviously it's nice to have around the campsite there. I can do many things with this here. But what I like to do is put my full can of gas. There's a can of gas there. There's my Deep Woods Off bug spray. Then I have my lights. My tent light that I hang in the tent and my headlamp. These are absolute musts for any camping trip. Even if you're not in a tent, this headlamp is, I can't describe to you how important these are. So again, my bug spray, my lights, I get there in dark, no problem. If I get there in the day and the bugs are biting, no problem. All of that is what I consider essential and that I need to grab quickly. It's right here in the outside pocket. Again, there's much more space in here. So let's go ahead and throw my foldable bear claw back scratcher. That's what I'm going to put in there. And that is generally kind of what I put in there. Sometimes not as much for an overnight trip. That's right. The pocket's folded in here. Like, there's still tons of space in this pocket. I just haven't used it up yet. And keep in mind, I'm going to Sturgis for a week. I still don't feel the need to overpack that pocket because I've got plenty of room for all my stuff. This here is just like a little windscreen to put around your burner so that if the wind's blowing, it doesn't blow your flame out. That just goes into one of these interior pockets here in the front. This big flat pocket in here. So I like to carry a hot pad with me for taking the pot off the flame. Sometimes the handle can get hot. It's just nice to have a hot pad too, just in case. Got my windscreen, that goes in that pocket. My coffee filter thing that I put on top of my cup for coffee in the morning, that goes right in the same pocket with the cooked stuff. Here I got a couple of UCO camping sporks. Got 2 of them. I've never used them, but on that time that you got to eat a can of baked beans because there's nothing else to eat at the campground, you're going to definitely want those. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, that pocket's barely full, but that's what I got in it. GoPro power bank for plugging in my GoPro so it can run much, much longer. My phone power bank for recharging my phone overnight. The cord for that. The cord for the other one. Another flashlight. There's an extra flashlight in there also, just in case. My Aleve, an extra strength Tylenol for my extreme back pain that I feel pretty much all day long every day. And all that stuff I just put right in the zipper pocket. Here's one more thing I put in here just because it fits well. This is my Packable Towel. It just fits nice in there, in that pocket too. It's easy to find. So there, I put that in that pocket there too. Now you guys can see my table's getting fairly slim here. Oh, it's amazing. So now I'm going to turn it over so that it's more like a suitcase, because that's the way I like to pack it. I found with this Dagger Bag that it's not very stiff on the bottom. So I made me a stiffener to put in there so that when it's sitting up on the seat, you know, kind of keeps the shape a little bit better. And so what I have in these bags here, this isn't a true representation. I went ahead and packed the amount of clothing that I'm going to be taking to Sturgis with me. Okay, in these two bags, this is basically my full 3 days change of clothes and some extra socks and underwear. I only take 3 actual changes of clothes. But I've got these stuffed in these Wise Owl waterproof stuff sacks, and they kind of work like space bags. You can just push the air right out of them so that it really gets your stuff in there packed, plus it's waterproof. But you can see that this bag full of clothing right here, which is the majority of what goes into this bag anyway, it takes up over half of this bag. But because of the way this lid is concaved, even if it takes up half the section in the bag, you can still stack stuff on top of it and still zip it in. This bag holds a lot of shit. But I don't have that much shit to put in there. So between them two bags, I'm gonna stand it up here and show you. This is literally what I've got in there right now. I got plenty of room. So I can throw anything I want in here. I generally will throw my Bluetooth speaker because I gotta have tunes at the campground. And I'll throw my cook pot in there like that. My flip-flops generally just go in a saddlebag or get strapped to the outside. But, I mean, I hate to tell you guys, I mean, really out of stuff to take to Sturgis. I can start making shit up and throw more shit in here to just show you. But this foldable Igloo 30 can cooler, it rolls right up. There you go. That also go in there. And just for shits and giggles, because I've got plenty of room, really nothing else to put in here, I'm going to put my flip-flops in there. I got to get 2 more things before Sturgis. But I did pack a washcloth into my clothing bag to represent that. And then I have a battery-operated fan, LED light for the tent that's coming. Now, you'll notice I didn't show you anything about the saddlebag. I haven't packed any of my gear for Sturgis in those saddlebags. What I have in there is my straps, my sunglasses, my extra gloves, my rain suit, anything that you would normally have on your motorcycle, a tool roll, that's all still in my motorcycle, and those bags expand. So if I need to stuff more stuff in there, I can. I can fit all kinds of shit in them saddlebags, but really right now I don't need to. So probably put that fan in there. It's real-time packing right here, guys. You ready? Dagger bag goes on, fits on the back seat. Now again, this is me riding solo on this motorcycle for a week-long camping trip in Sturgis. This is the gear I'm taking, and this is the way I would pack it. Get you some of these rock straps. I'm telling you right now. Get you some of these rock straps. These things are the best thing in the world. And I'm not going to take all the time to show you me hooking it all up, but here's literally what I do. I take this anchor point and I put it down here on my passenger peg. I run it through this loop right here and pull the bag toward me. pull it taut. It's the only strap that I put on it. 2 straps, one on each side, just like that. And I've ridden hundreds of miles that way. That bag doesn't move, and it works beautifully as a backrest for me as I ride. And then I take these 2 straps and I run them, the anchors in the back of my luggage rack, okay? And then I put this bag on top like this and anchor them right here to my backrest. And right there, boom. That's how that rides, guys. Okay, the straps aren't on them, but that is exactly how my gear rides with me. Now, if you wanted to add additional things, and you needed to add additional things, here's how simple it is. Let's say you want to add the top roll that goes on top of this thing for even more space. It actually straps to the bag, so you don't have to strap it with the rock straps. You just fill it up full of gear, throw it on top of the Dagger Bag, and strap it to the Dagger Bag. Let's just say your buddy, he's riding a Sportster, and he can't really take any of his own camping gear. Maybe you could strap a mat, you could strap a cot or a mat for him, and a 2-person tent. Here's my 2-person tent. Bam! Bam! I mean, now I can take my buddy's stuff too. I totally forgot about my camping chair. Didn't even take it off the shelf. But this obviously goes with me every single time I go somewhere. Normally on a solo motorcycle trip, and probably if I want to pull that bag back down, I could put this chair in this bag. But there's no real reason for this bag to have to go in that bag. So what I would probably do, let me take my demonstration stuff off. What I'll probably end up doing is putting my camping chair just like this, and then strapping it down with the rock straps. That's exactly how it'll go. We're not taking this bullshit either. But if I needed to, I certainly could. So there you go. Viking Dagger Bag, $10 Black Friday Bass Pro waterproof boat bag. I don't even know the capacity of that bag. I'm going to say I think it's probably around 20 liters. And that right there is what I'm taking with me to Sturgis. Everything. Clothes, cigars, tent, chair, cooler, everything I'm taking is on that motorcycle right now. There you go. That's it. Easy cheesy, lemon squeezy. I'll see you at the rally. Roll Tide Roll.